So I'm trying to close this document here. Eric Boland's son died in Colorado. I got a list of headlines that I wrote, and I got to do something with them, right? What am I gonna? So Eric Boland's son, he died in Colorado. Apparently, it looks like a suicide. So that's weird. I guess when your hero gets fired for sending dick pics around. So I wonder if you could sue Fox News, for firing Eric Boland. And what was the deal, right? What's he doing? He was like sending dick pics. I feel like men need to stop doing that. Especially at the workplace. I mean, it just seems kind of obvious, right? No dick pics. Unless it's to your superior, but even then it's a little risque. And I think if they want to fire you because of it, you got to kind of... That's on you, right? I mean, you're going to take a risk. You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. So here in Pueblo City, there's two people who were arrested for possession of drugs. One is being held in jail in lieu of a $75,800 bail. I wonder how they came up with that 800. So it's like, yes, 75,000 and 800. It's like, why did you add the 800 on there? And then another lady, she was held in jail for basically the same thing, according to each one, on a warrant for possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. So, warrant for Schedule II. What's Schedule II? Is that ecstasy? And how much? They must have had a whole bunch, right? Anthony Aaron Sanchez, a 25-year-old, is the one who has the $75,800 bail. And then Nikia Aspen Young, 22-year-old. She was arrested Wednesday. And she's got a $25,000 bail. It doesn't say, I'm not for sure where they put it, but I'm not for they didn't mention the victims. Who were the victims of their alleged crimes? They didn't mention any victims at all. In fact, it just said it was a warrant for possession. So how they get a warrant for possession? Maybe they saw some drug dealing going on and they just assumed that the person was possessing. I don't know. But, and what were they possessing? A lot of unanswered questions, really. I mean, we got the person's name of who got nabbed, who got kidnapped, who got picked up by the local 5-0. We got their names and we got their addresses and we got, what they were being charged with and we got their, how much their bail is. What we don't have is the police officers who were involved in either one of these cases, what the actual accusation was. I guess we're just supposed to assume that they had the goods on them, right? And why would they nab them if they didn't have the goods? Unless they're corrupt. I mean, I'm not for sure who is above the police, who would stop the police if they were being corrupt. I mean, there was two people who were shot and killed in Pueblo, and it seems justified. Both of them said that there was a gun being pulled out on them. By the police. Police have shot two people. One in Colorado City, and then the other one, I don't know. There's a homicide. That one lady, that jailer killed her daughter. Right? That happened. So, let's see. Two people died in jail, too. So, two people died in jail. And I'm pretty sure two people got shot because that Bernadette, I don't know, that one lady that was in the middle of the domestic dispute that got the one police officer arrested. She was part of the shooting. They had, they said the driver tried to run him over and they shot him. So that's at least two people who've been shot and killed in Pueblo City. And, they reported it, but I don't know. It's, like, are these reporters like how I would be? Are they questioning, like, both sides? Are they being fair and balanced? Are they like, the lady went down to Colorado City and she asked neighbors, and they essentially said that, he was running from here to there, and then one person said something about a gun, and then supposedly there was audio, but why no video? I mean, I never heard the audio or the video. It's just like, God, this shit just happens and we're just supposed to accept it. If you're being honest, just kind of put it all, put everything out just in front of the people. Anything and everything that you got, especially like once the thing is over, once the case is over. I mean, if the guy's dead, what investigation is it? Your all's fucking cover-up is the only thing you need to talk about now. But once he's dead, right, you chased him. There's a madman doing this, doing that. You chased him, you got him, and, he's dead now. So you're actually, if the official story is true, you're a hero. So, tell us what happened. What tipped you off? Tell us from start to finish. Give us a long narrative, especially when there's a dead body. If there's a dead body, I can't just accept, you just shot, he pulled out a gun, and okay, well, you had to kill him, right? Okay, well, fine, if you say so. No. Would you trust the people, right? If they were just like, hey, trust me. So, both Nakia and Anthony were arrested by unknown assailants. Unknown assailants nabbed Anthony and Nakia. And Anthony and Nakia are being held. They've been kidnapped and they're being held in captivity. And for a large ransom, and to enforce, to make sure they show up into, the criminal injustice system, which is already sided, completely against him, especially once you've been accused by a cop, once you've been accused by a police officer, you just go straight through it, like crap through a goose. Once a cop says, you did A, B, C, and D, but that's, God, anybody could just accuse anybody of anything. So if there was a police officer that had it out for you, I wonder, how do you stop that from happening? And then how do you protect the whistleblowers, the good police officers that stand up and say, so-and-so did this. Yeah, tell on each other, because you're enforcing the law, and you don't want criminals being your brothers, right? Your brothers in blue. If they're assaulting people, if they're raping people, if they're robbing people, and especially if they're murdering people, that's bad. That's evil. I don't understand. Sometimes it's weird. It's like I'm the only one that recognizes that. The police have to serve as the example. So if they're going around terrorizing people, how many times, are they creating this crime wave that now people are clamoring for them to save? Seems like a perfect little self-fulfilling prophecy there. But enough about Nakia and Anthony, and I hope that they get out, and I hope they handle this situation, and if they were in the wrong, I hope that they're introduced back into the society and they're able to get their lives, pick up the pieces. This is not going to be good for, their futures. They're going to have to, whatever. I don't know. Is that jail time? $75,000. Why does he have $75,000? $800 bail versus $25,000. She got off like light, right? But $25,000 bail. Neither one of them are going to get out. They're going to stay in jail, and they're going to be in front of the judge wearing orange jumpsuits, which is going to be bad. So, public pretender, if they don't have a lawyer, they're fucked. One's from Pueblo West. It's a two-tiered system, right? The lawyered and the unlawyered. So if they're not able to get a lawyer, then they're stuck with their public pretender, and who knows? That's a crapshoot. I would say 95% of the time it's a losing deal for the defendant. Damon Blake, he's going to live on the taxpayer's dime for life in prison for murdering 23-year-old Quincy Coates in a 2014 shooting at Sharky's Bar. So, RIP to Quincy Coates. He shot 23-year-old Quincy Coates, and he also shot Quincy Coates' girlfriend, who was pregnant at the time, and she lost her baby, but Quincy Coates' girlfriend lived. So there's, some silver lining. The girlfriend lived, but she lost her baby. Quincy Coates is dead, and his legacy is dead, and Damon Blake took that away from him, and he's getting only life. He deserves to die. Damon Blake deserves to die. He killed Quincy Coates and Quincy Coates' baby. That's hardcore. Not just killing Quincy Coates, but killed his legacy. Killed his birthright. Killed his namesake. Killed his, that's how he was going to outlive life. The point of life is to outlive it. He had a baby in the oven, and now. So that's I'm glad he's going to prison for life, assuming he did it. I mean, I guess they all had this figured out, but it sounds like he did, and he's going to prison for life. I mean, I guess that's the second best thing I could ask for. But God, I don't know. Just James Holmes, he deserves to die. That one guy in Kentucky who killed those kids, Marco Chapman, he deserved to die. Killing kids, he slit their throats. You slice children's throats? And so then, like a rabid dog, right? Once they get a taste of human flesh, something has to be done. Prison for life, it's a nice liberal way, but I don't know. I'm a liberal who's pro-death penalty. I'm a liberal who likes the zoo, and I'm pro-death penalty. So I guess when I think about James Holmes, I mean, the kids died because of James Holmes. I mean, he killed 14 people, mostly adults, but there was a kid that died, 6-year-old girl. So when I think about James Holmes and how he just does that eye thing, like, oh, he's crazy. He must be crazy, right? Look how big his eyes are. That's his acting, that's his defense, that's what he's going to basically say. And now people are saying basically it's, only a crazy person could do something like that. And he gets away with that shit, and, he gets what, fucking 5,000 life sentences. But he gets to do that stupid face and basically mock all of society for the rest of his fucking life, and he's going to be paid on, taxpayer dime. On taxpayer dime. We're going to pay for his waters, food, clothing, shelter, his basketball, everything. Everything this guy does for the rest of his life. We're going to pay for Damon Blake. That was pretty expensive. God, if we would have invested as much money as we're going to invest in Damon Blake and Quincy Coates, or maybe even Damon Blake, maybe we could have saved him before he decided to, fucking throw his life away and 2 other people. What the fuck did Quincy Coates even do to deserve that? In 3 years? Why did it take 3 years to prosecute him, too? So, R.I.P. Quincy Coates. Seems like there's some justice. Like I said, it's the second best thing. If you can't get the death penalty, then life in prison, that's, unless you could, torture him for life in prison. I guess that might be better. I don't know. The victims. Ask the girlfriend. Is she satisfied with it? Is she satisfied with that verdict? And then his, who else? Whoever else loved Quincy Coates. West Puebloan Benjamin Chavez was arrested around September 13th when the story was reported for randomly shooting at people. Weird story. In West Pueblo, Benjamin Chavez, there was gunshots. Neighbor comes out, then he saw gunshots hitting the dirt. So he's just shooting at random fucking people. Cops go there. He's shooting at the cops, and now, eventually he just gives himself up, and they charge him with, attempting to murder police officers. So, but that isn't what the fuck it's, what the fuck was he just shooting randomly at people for? I don't understand. Benjamin Chavez, that happened in West Pueblo. And there's a pooper up in Colorado Springs. But we got shooters. So we got, we don't worry about poopers around here. There's somebody in Colorado Springs pooping on people's yards. We got shooters, but what the fuck? What the fuck was Benjamin Chavez? What was he on? Why was he just shooting randomly at people? What the fuck? Was he just, did something happen? Was there, did he not get into Harvard and he just took it really bad? There's a reason. There's a motivation, right? There's a reason people do. Everything that people do is communication. But unfortunately, some people's communication takes lives, and then, you don't want to blame the pit bull when the pit bull bites a kid. You don't want to blame the pit bull because it was doing what it's in its nature, right? But also, whether it was a shitty, mean, vicious dog is because of how the owner raised it. So you don't want to put the dog down because it's not its fault, but it just bit a kid. So you got to do what you got to do. You can't have dogs biting children. Fuck. Are you kidding me? Pueblo County, the sheriff's office is offering their annual Citizens Academy classes free of charge. Once you sign up, you must attend for 2 months. This actually seems kind of fun. It'd be interesting. I mean, they show you different things of what the sheriff does, but I don't understand the point. I don't know what they're doing here. Are they just grooming like another generation of rats so they got citizens with their, looking out at people? Is this a way to train new citizens to become police officers? They're 3-hour classes once a week on Tuesday, so you go through, and then you must attend for 2 months, so for, 8, 9, maybe 10 weeks. So I don't exactly 100% understand it. It's free classes, but then once you sign up, you must attend. There's limited seats, so it's kind of like applying, right? You have to apply the first come, first serve is what they're doing. And then why are they doing this? Like, they're just got money to blow? Like, hey, we got money to blow. Let's just, I guess it's a good way to stay in touch with the community, but I hope they're not using it for their own sinister purpose. It would be nice to think that the county sheriff is actually just wants to inform the public about how they do their business and what, that'd be nice. I'd like to think that that's what the Citizens Academy classes that the Pueblo County Sheriff's Office is offering is all about. The Teachers Union, the Professional Educators Association Teachers Union here in Pueblo won $1.2 million more on their contract for the steps and lanes for teachers who teach more advanced classes. So for steps and lanes, apparently there's some teachers who teach AP classes. So steps and lanes for them, higher steps, higher lanes, different lanes, different steps. I don't know, they call it steps and lanes, but essentially for the teachers that teach, extra harder classes, AP, gifted, talented, extracurricular, they get paid more money. So that would make more sense. If you have to teach an AP class, you would have to know a lot more and expect a lot more versus just a generic, class. And in fact, you probably need more gifted and talented and 10%ers like the black schools. And the solid South, the deep, dirty South, when there were black schools, they knew that the white supremacist society was against them. So they have, we got 20 black kids. Which one of these black kids are going to be the one to lead the rest of us? Who's going to be the smart generation? And then once you find that person who's got some intelligence and you're like, okay, yes, you're going to do it. You're going to, graduate, go to college, and then fix this, get in, and then get in the middle, get some money, and then you'll be the savior of our race. So since the situation was so dire, since the situation was so stark, you must survive. We must survive. We've got to live. So whereas, everybody needs to read and write, they give those special ones their, personal attention and just put all their efforts into teaching that talented the talented 10th, that new leadership class, that new leadership group of folks. So the PEA Teachers Union, they won another $1 million. That's $200 million budget. So I don't know what any of this really means. Do they deserve it? Probably not. I don't know. Do they have enough money? We'll see. So I know they're closing some schools down. Which that doesn't sound good. And then Justin Holman, he's got an idea. Justin Holman is friends with Taylor Voss. And Justin Holman's idea is to use some of the PEDCO money to provide a grant for a nonprofit to start a private school in the vacant Summerlid Elementary campus on West Street between 27th and 28th. And he prefers Montessori methods. I like the Waldorf. I like Sudbury. I like Reggio Emilia. All these are better, education has to change. So let's talk about, I want a robust conversation where we're talking about alternative forms of education. That's what I would like to see here in Pueblo. Robust conversations regarding education. What is it? What's the point? What's the best form? What's your theory of education? Do you have a theory of education? Have you thought about it? Are you just throwing your kids out into this building with a bunch of careerists, a bunch of outsiders from, Alabama and Florida and Tennessee, which is where all these superintendents have came from, where they come from. So You don't even know what the hell who are these adults? Who the hell are these adults that you just throw your kids in this building, right? I guess truancy laws, you don't want to go to jail, but Huckleberry Finn, the quintessential all-American novel was about him playing hooky and not going to school. He wasn't going to be civilized. I'm not going to be civilized by a bunch of fake-ass Christians who still believed in slavery. That's the all-American novel right there. So I like Justin Holman. I like how he's thinking about Summerlid Elementary. I guess it's vacant, so there's just an empty building right there. We have 1,000 homeless kids, 1,000 kids who have no home. Let's make Summerlid Elementary, and let's tell those homeless kids, look, you're living in a society that don't really care about you. So you have a situation, a very unique, special situation, a circumstance that you have to deal with that nobody else in Pueblo City has to deal with. And so you need to, probably get yourself out, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But at least here's some other kids that's in your same situation. So maybe you all could talk to each other, throw ideas off of each other, and try to figure out how to, make your situation better. At least tell them the truth. What kind of assholes? I mean, my God, there's a kid that got killed in Louisville because he was homeless. He was living in an alley with his mom and dad. Crazy fucking person came out at the middle of the night and killed him. 10-year-old kid, fucking dead. But I just can't, how many fucking asshole principals, administrators, teachers, get in line, go here, go do this. Kid don't even have a goddamn home. They're sitting there, trying to what? Make him conform to a factory system, an industrial factory system, make sure he conforms to a Prussian system, so he has pride in America, so he's a good factory worker. What? The Prussian industrial system is yesterday's news. It's archaic, it's old, it's bullshit. The French actually believed in the French cause. They actually believed in revolution. The Germans, they just wanted to educate their citizens just to be patriotic, just for patriotism's sake. That's nonsensical. That makes no sense at all. That's North Korea bullshit. So, that's happening. Summerlid Elementary Campus. So, yeah. The dog don't like it when I talk, right? Damn dog barks all fucking day. And I just have to sit here. Oh, well, I guess the dog's barking. It's not, you can't, you can't hear yourself think sometimes. Hell, I had a slow drip on my faucet. So it was like drip, 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 drip. I was like, ah! I can't stand it. Fuck. Alright, so I forget what I was talking about. Something about education, freedom. Oh yeah, we got 1,000 homeless people, 1,000. Do you care about the 1,000 homeless kids? No, you don't, do you? So why don't you let me do my thing here? Just barking. He barks at nothing, man, for hours. I'll go out there, I'll look at him, and sometimes I'll say, it'll calm him down, it'll surprise him, be like, hey, there's nothing out here, puppy, but he'll just go on and on and on. Nothing. Seriously, it's literally nothing. It's not guarding anything. So, I feel sad for it, actually. I resonate somewhat with it. It's just barking into a void, maybe it's just communicating. Maybe it just wants somebody to love it. And somebody to give a shit. Or maybe it's got a bird who's terrorizing the shit out. Maybe there's a bird in that yard just, like making faces at him and shit. And just, he's like, stop it. Stop making fun of me. But he gets no respect. I don't know. So, Justin Holman, that's a good idea. I didn't know Summerlid was vacant. West Street between 27th and 28th. Here's last headline that I want to mention is this recycling center. There's going to be a recycling center, but they shut it down because it was going by some people who didn't want it. This is getting to be so fucked up, okay? So it initially started with Chris Nickel. He wanted to have a trash drop-off site. If people didn't, instead of just throwing their trash off to the side, where can people just drop their trash off? Is there a place for people to drop their trash off? Now, they went ahead, and that's how it started, as just being a place, where the trash was going to be dropped off. Actually, I got two stories. The jail thing. But, this recycling center, because they got a grant, they got a $290,000 grant for recycling. So now, instead of getting a trash drop-off center, they're going to have recycling bins for glass, paper, metal, and the rest. So recycling bins for the people or for the company. And then now, instead of just dropping your trash off, you're going to just drop off the stuff that can be recycled, right? So you're not just dropping your trash off. You can only drop off your paper, your metal, and your glass. And, you know, that's it. I don't know if there's, what about like your food stuff, right? What about some other, that doesn't cover everything, but most things. But it just seems like if you want people's trash, like if I was to clean up litter, I guess I could, you know, pick up litter throughout the neighborhood and then get home and then separate it between aluminum and paper and glass. Like, fuck, man. And you just want to, it's kind of such a pain in the ass, you just don't even want to fucking do it. You just, you know, throw it in the trash can. Don't even recycle it. Have to go through all that. And this whole, so the whole original point is being diluted. And then here's even the worst part, okay? So Chris Nickel had said that he started out that he wanted big trash, large items to go into this spot, such as couches and some other shit like that. So when you have, you know, furniture, appliances, old tires, electronics, he was wanting, you know, to drop it off in some other place except for South Side Landfill. So that's great. We're just dumping all of our, just what, 3 private companies, South Side Landfill. I need to figure out this trash situation here in Pueblo. But, you know, it's getting diluted because if you want to drop off the furniture, appliances, mattresses, old tires, or electronics, now you got to pay a small fee. You got to pay a small fee. You want us to take your couch? Well, you better pay me some money. How about just cleaning up the... No wonder this goddamn city's so fucking junky. There's no place to throw your trash away. My God, just have one fucking designated goddamn trash can for the entire city and fucking pay for it. This is... The way they make shit so much more complicated than what it fucking needs to be. Now, Chris Nickel wanted a place, if you have old shitty couch, here, just take your old shitty couch and throw it on shitty couch fucking mountain. But instead of having shitty couch mountain, now we're going to charge you for a small fee if you drop your couch off. If they had the money to, you know, get their couches and shit taken care of, then they would have done it, right? So I think by adding a small fee, you're doing the opposite. You're not trying to get this shit cleaned up. You're trying to make some money out of the deal. And it's kind of like, come on. You at least get the program up and starting, but instead it's kind of like, no, you need to pay us. Well, you know, if they could have paid to get rid of their furniture, then I don't think that they would have dropped it off in the alley, you know. So the last thing I want to mention is Garrison Ortiz's jail. So there's 5 ballot measures on the ballot. You got Jenny Paulson's small army. You got 3, that's a sales tax. You got 2 other sales tax, or no other, 2 sales tax. 1 for cops, 1 for her army, 1 for the on her water bill, which I don't even like this shit. I want new roads. I don't generally, you know, I don't mind small taxes to get services that we all need. But it hasn't been explained to me. None of these have been explained. I don't understand. The tax to get the roads is going to be on our water bill. So in order to get some roads, you're going to tax the people getting water, you know? And then why? How come we don't they have a transportation department in Colorado? How come we're not getting these road grants? And to charge the people with water, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like you're just taxing some random fucking person for shit that don't... It's like, well... We're going to, you know, build ourselves, a gym. Who we're going to tax? The water users. And then what if you sell the water? Then how are you going to get that utility tax? So there's some people that would sell waterworks, Pueblo's waterworks. And then once they do that, you know, I guess they'll be cheaper, right? Water will be cheaper for everybody. So Garrison Ortiz, I don't know how to say his last name, but... The little kid, the young politician who acts like Obama here in Pueblo County, one of the commissioners, he finally got a spot for the jail. So they're going to spend, you know, $140,000. And actually, I had a couple more things. I'm getting to the end. Kevin Cover actually got there's a story of Kevin Cover in the newspaper. So we got to find a little bit out, some things out about Kevin Cover, and he basically... doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He supports strong mayor and the tax on the cops, and he's like, yeah, sure, I support all those things. That's the extent of our analysis here. But there's a whole bunch of businesses, so he's going to get in downtown. Nah, let's get a remote place. It's going to be expensive downtown. Get the jail in the remote spot. There's businesses who want